Oh hi. Mendoza, the city in Argentina, the capital of the province of the same name. According to 2015, the population of Mendoza is made by 1,115,041 persons. Together with suburbs, the city Big Mendoza with the population in card people. 2015. Forms agglomeration that is it by the fourth largest agglomeration of the country. The comfortable climate and the developed winemaking led to emergence of the unofficial name. The city of the sun and good wine. La Tierra del Sol y Buen Vino. Mendoza is located in the western part of Argentina, at the bottom mainly Cordilleras of the Andes. In 112 came to the west from the city the highest mountain of South America, Peak of Aconcagua. 6962 m. Towers. The nearest large towns. San Luis to the east, on the way to Buenos Aires, San Juan to the north, and Santiago, the capital of Chile, to the west. Mendoza occupies the space in 57 km, which average height above sea level is 767 m. The climate is continental, with considerable differences of night and day temperatures. The landscape of this part of the country represents itself a droughty pampas, however the city is in an oasis, formed in Mendoza and Tunion's Mestrachaya. The microclimate of an oasis and irrigation of lands in a residential suburb do possible cultivation of grapes. The city was founded on March 2, 1561 by the Captain Pedro del Castillo, who called them in honor of the young chief Garcia Hurtado de Mendoza, the governor of Chile and the son of the viceroy of Peru. Almost exactly in a year, on March 28, 1562, on order of an alcalde Santiago Juan Jufa, Mendoza was moved to the new place, on the east, on distance of 2 arquebusny shots from initial location. Having made such order, Jufa became formally the founder of the new city and got for it the being due cash bonus, the second after Del Castillo for the same settlement. Long time Mendoza remained a quiet small town, the vacation spot or a winter billeting of merchants before a campaign through the Andes. More than 200 years the city submitted to Chile, being a component of the Vice Kingdom of Peru. In 1776 it entered the again-formed Vice Kingdom of Rio de la Plata, where stayed before the May Revolution of 1810. It was followed by the Anarchy period, which came to the end in November 1813 with creation Intendanstva Cuyo, where besides Mendoza the cities of San Luis and San Juan entered. From 1814 to 1816 José D. Street Martin ran the city, taking up a position of the governor quartermaster Cuyo. All this time, from November 1814 to January 1817, it was engaged in formation of troops for war with royalists, so far, at last, didn't act on January 6 in the Andean campaign for gaining independence of Chile. His Andean army went from Mendoza's suburb, Plumerillo. In August 1816 Torbilio de Luriaga, providing Street Martin during all campaign with provisions and ammunition, became the governor. In 1820, having refused a position, he joined Street Martin in its next, already Peruvian, campaign, having received at the field marshal's rank. After de Luzuriagi's resignation, on March 1, 1820, Intendanstva Cuyo, the existence with education around San Juan and San Luis of certain provinces stopped.
After calling in 1852 of the head of the integrated provinces of Rio de la Plata Juan Manuel of de Rosas de Mendoza, the federal inspector who ran the city and the province till 1856, when the constitution of the province was adopted, was appointed and elections were held. March 20, 1861, the city was completely destroyed by an earthquake, of which remain only ruins of the Church of St. Francis, standing here since colonial times today.
The earthquake claimed the lives of nearly 600 citizens from living in Mendoza. 2 years later the city was restored, and in 1882 totaled inhabitants. In 1887 to Mendoza stretched the railroad, having connected it with San Juan and, through Villa Mercedes, with Buenos Aires. With opening in 1910 of the Transandinski Railroad, the city was an important transfer point as a part of the transport corridor which connected Quiet and Atlantic Oceans. The city totals card inhabitants. Most of the population descendants of Spaniards, Italians and Arabs. The dominating branch of economy, winemaking and the related wine industry. Further oil production and its processing follow. Besides, Mendoza is considered gate to Chile and her area Santiago de Chile, and is therefore the important industrial center.
The aircraft industry is presented by the plant of the La Viasa company making Puelch light planes. Long-distance transportations of Mendoza are provided automobile and by air.
The bus covers the distance from Buenos Aires of 1037 km in 13 hours, 380 km from the Chilean Santiago, for 6-7. In the northern suburb Las Suras settles down the El Plumerillo Airport, which is the most important airport of the western part of Argentina. Duration of flight from El Plumerillo to Buenos Aires is 2 hours, in Santiago hour. City transport, after total disappearance of trams in the late 50s years of the 20th century, is presented in Mendoza by trolleybuses and minibuses. The trolleybus park of the city consists of the German cars of the T series. Trolleybus Solingen.
Of production of the 1970th, Japanese Toshiba of the end of the 50th, and Soviet Zu-9 constructed in 1984.
In 2008 the batch of second-hand Canadian trolleybuses from Vancouver joined them. Payment of travel by city transport is carried out both by cash and the Argentina smart cards of Red Bus. In the downtown the bus line which rolling stock is stylized under trams of the 50th functions. City tram of purchases. Tranvia Urbano de Compras. The line is ring, time of the movement -25 min. With a 10-minute frequency. In the February of 2009 the decision on construction of the high-speed tram of Mendoza. Metro Tranvia de Mendoza. Of 12.5 km was made.
The line, which is partially laid on the route of the former railroad Street Martin, is open on February 28, 2012 to use the second-hand trains Siemens Duagu which were purchased in San Diego. I freeze roads it was necessary to alter from Indian on Stefensonovsky. In 2006 the agreement between the governments of Chile and Argentina was reached upon reconstruction of nowadays not operating Transandinski Railroad conducting from Mendoza to Santiago.
In 2006 the government of Chile refused the project, having considered him economically unprofitable. In May 2009, the new rebuilding plan, according to which the movement on the restored Argentina part of the road has to be carried out not from the center of Mendoza, and from suburban Cachuta, is offered. Mendoza, the green city with parks, restaurants, nightclubs and theaters. The downtown represents the pedestrian zone with trees and the main attractions. Ruins of Church of St. Francis. Museum. The Park of Jose D. Street Martin. One of important and interesting sites are 5 areas. Area of Spain. Area of Chile. Area of Italy. Jose D. Street Martin Square. Independence Square. City Park of Street Martin. The Park of Jose D. Street Martin is at Cerro de la Gloria's bottom, a cordon of Slava, where at top of the mountain Jose D. Street Martin monument is established. The most known holiday of year, the festival of harvesting of Vendimia, which takes place in the city since 1936, annually within 3 months. Festive actions reach the apogee in March when in Mendoza Amphitheater there take place musical and dancing representations, and the Queen among representatives of her 17 departments is elected. The girl from Mendoza, because she is a hostess of a festival, can't be the queen. The winemaking plants around Mendoza. Then Mendoza are known around the world. The leading grade of grapes cultivated here. Downhill skiing. The most modern ski resort of Argentina, Las Leñas, is in 4 hours journey from Mendoza. Trekking. Trip to the Chilean border to look at the highest top of South America, the mountain of Aconcagua. Famous people of the city. Diego González Holguin, missionary, Jesuit. Antonio Di Benedetto, writer. Neri Raúl Cardoso, football player. Enrique Dussel, philosopher, historian, theologian. Hugo Fregonaz, director. Cavino, animator. Sat down. Mario Rodriguez. The thinker, the writer. Twin Cities. Flag of the USA, Miami-Dade, Florida, USA. Flag of Israel, Ramat Gan, Israel. Flag of the USA, Nashville, Tennessee, USA. Flag of Peru of Tacna, Peru. Flag of Brazil of Sao Paulo, Brazil. Also far. Write comments. Read comments. Interesting people will tell interesting stories. All of good mood and good luck.